Hello students, welcome to the universal classes. Today we are going to take few questions and their answers. First question is why balanced resource planning at the national, state, regional and local levels is required. Answer is there are some regions which can be considered self-sufficient in terms of the availability of resources, and there are some regions which have acute shortage of some vital resources. Arunachal Pradesh has abundance of water resources but lacks in infrastructural development. The state of Rajasthan is very well endowed with solar and wind energy but lacks in water resources. The cold desert of Ladakh is relatively isolated from the rest of the country. It has very rich cultural heritage, but it is deficient in water, infrastructure, and some vital minerals. And therefore, there is need for balanced resource planning at the national, state, regional, and local levels. Now, the second question is what are the processes by uh, which involves resource planning in India? Answer is resource planning is a very complex process which involves first point is identification and inventory of resources across the regions of the country. This involves surveying, mapping, and qualitative and quantitative estimation and measurement of the resources. Second point is evolving a planning structure endowed with appropriate technology, skill, and institutional setup for implementing resource development plans. Third point is matching the resource development plans with overall national development plans. Third, can you name some resource rich but economically backward regions and some resource poor but economically developed regions? Give reasons for such a situation. Yes, like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh are some regions which have very abundant resource rich state but economically backward regions or state, whereas Goa is not having so much variety of types of mineral resources, but economically Goa state is a developed state or region. And the reason of this is mainly the infrastructural work or development and the literacy rate also. Now, fourth question is why conservation of resources is important. Conservation of resources is are very vital for any developmental activity, but irrational consumption and overutilization of resources may lead to socio-economic and environmental problems. So there is need or it is time to conserve the resource and utilize very judiciously or properly. There is enough. Next question is there is enough for everybody's need and not for anybody's greed. So, who said this and what? It is said by Mahatma Gandhi, and why he said because he was very much concerned about the resource conservation. He placed the greedy and selfish individuals and exploitative nature of modern technology as the root cause for resource depletion at the global level. So he also was very much against mass production and wanted to replace it with production by the masses. Now, sixth question is, who wrote the book Small is Beautiful and when it was written? The book Small is Beautiful was written by Sumacher, and it was written in the year 1974. And the next question is, by whom concept of sustainable development was introduced, and in which year, and what was the name of the book, or which year you can say it was published? The concept of sustainable development was introduced by Brundtland Commission report, and it was published in a book. The name of the book was Our Common Future, and the year was 1987. Now, the next question is, for which purposes land is being utilized? Land resources are utilized for the following purposes. First one is for forest purpose. Second one, land not available for cultivation, barren and wasteland, land put to non-agricultural uses, for example, buildings, roads, factories, etc. Third one is other uncultivated land, excluding fallow land. Under this comes permanent pasture and grazing land, land under miscellaneous tree crops, groves not included in not sown area, cultivable wasteland left uncultivated for more than 5 agricultural years, fallow lands, current fallow left without cultivation for one or less than 1 agricultural year, other than current fallow left uncultivated for the past 1 to 5 agricultural years. And the net sown area sown more than once in an agricultural year plus net sown area is known as gross crop area. Next question comes, what are the physical and human factors on which land use pattern of India depends? The answer is the physical and human factors. First one, we'll take the physical factors. Under the physical factors on which land use pattern depends in India are, first one is topography, climate, soil types. Human factors on which land use pattern in India depends as, first one is population, density, technological capability, and cultural and traditions, etc. Now, the next question is how land is degraded. Land is degraded by the over-utilizing of the land. If we are not leaving it for at least for 2 or 3 months uncultivated, then the fertility of the soil deteriorates and it starts degrading. And so we have to take proper or do the proper management of land utilization as it starts degrading. Because human activities have not only brought about degradation of land, but also have aggravated the pace of natural forces to cause damage to land. And its main causes are human activities such as deforestation, overgrazing, mining, and quarrying have contributed for land degradation. Now, the next question is, what are the methods to solve the problems of land degradation? There are many ways to solve the problems or methods to solve the problems of land degradation. First one is afforestation, and proper management of grazing can help to some extent. Planting of shelter belts of plants, control on overgrazing, stabilization of sand dunes by growing thorny bushes are some of the methods to check land degradation in arid areas. Also, proper management of wastelands, control of mining activities, proper discharge and disposal of industrial effluents and wastes after treatment can reduce land and water degradation in industrial and suburban areas. Now the next question comes, how soil is a renewable resource? Yes, very important question. Soil is the most important renewable natural resource because it is the medium of plant growth and supports different types of living organisms on the earth. It takes millions of years to form soil up to a few centimeters in depth. And the next question is how it is formed, how soil is formed, and write about soil formation question. So now the answer. Relief, parent rock or bedrock, climate, vegetation, and other forms of life and time are important factors in the formation of soil. Various forces of nature, such as change in temperature, actions of running water, wind, and glaciers, activities of decomposers, etc., contribute to the formation of soil. So, next question is, through level diagram, draw the soil profile. You can consult your geography NCERT book on page number 7, figure number 1.5. The soil profile diagram is given there, and the answer will be topsoil, the upper soil layer. Second one is subsoil, weathered rock, sand, and silt clay. Third one is substratum, weathered parent rock material, and fourth one is unweathered parent bedrock. And the diagram will be made like this. Now the last question comes here. Write or classify various types of soils found in India. Now, India has varied relief features, landforms, climatic realms, and vegetation types. And these have development of various types of soil. First one, alluvial soil. Second one is black soil. And the third one is red and yellow soil. Fourth one is black, and fifth one is laterite soil. Sixth one is arid soil, and last one comes the forest soils. Thank you for watching my video.